What's up, Smashers? Guess what? Another awesome day hanging out at Delta. It is hot in here, it's humid. This guy here just worked his face right off completely. This is a horrible workout. It's 30 minutes. Had some clean and jerks, had some rows, a whole bunch of them. So you know what we're gonna be talking about? Pre-shoulder warm-up. It made me think of it when I was watching the clean and jerks and all these guys doing a lot of weight. So I started thinking everybody's doing, you know, the standard 2 or 3 moves to warm up the shoulders, but there's so much more going on because you wanna work on how the scapula moves, because if you remember, the shoulder is the scapula and the scapula is the shoulder. So as that scapula slides across the rib cage, you need to accommodate thoracic extension, thoracic rotation. There's a lot going on. The ribs need to flare. Remember, they move like a bucket handle. That scapula has 7 muscles that come from the scapula and attach to the humerus. So they have to allow for that overhead position. If your jerk is really good, then you're gonna be nice and narrow. If your jerk is a little lousy, you're gonna be a little wider because it's gonna affect the way the shoulders are. We have that bicep tendon to contend with. We have the muscle that a lot of people forget about. It's the serratus anterior. Comes up underneath that scapula. Call it the boxer's muscle, right? Because when people are throwing those right hooks, you know, like Mayweather's gonna get clocked with a few of those by McGregor. You can tell who I'm voting for. But hey, that's just my opinion. I don't want to start any wars, so nobody get all pissed off. So this is the pre-shoulder warm-up. Let me try that again. Pre-shoulder warm-up. I'm just gonna, you know what? I put screw-ups on here all the time because you know what? I just don't care. I put stuff on here. So we need to warm up the movement. Unload the lat, the teres, the subscap, the serratus, all that stuff. Get the thoracic spine opened up. We're just gonna do it all today. It's super easy. So first thing we're gonna do is what's called a Cuban Press. Now when you do this, I want you to really focus on not getting into that hyperextended position that a lot of people when they go overhead get into, and it's a really crappy position. So what we do is we'll take my crusty camera stand. You can see I have a band, right? Light band. We're just gonna load it up. So the band, I'm on a PVC pipe. So what I don't want you to do is this position. So you're gonna take the band or the PVC pipe. I'm up 90 degrees at the elbows. I'm gonna rotate up towards the head and then just press straight up. What I'm gonna avoid is getting into this hyperextended position. So hollow out when you're up in that top position. So brace, glutes are tight, abs are tight. You're sucking your belly button into your spine, pressing straight up, shoulders through, or head through the shoulders, that kind of stuff, right? And then you're kind of back down and like that. So easy, all the way up, press straight up, back down, all the way down to scarecrow position, right? All the way up, press up, back down, all the way like this. That's number 1. Number 2, we gotta use the band, so gotta undo the band. Can't do anything fun without a band. Look at that, I dropped the camera, and it's still, shit still works out, huh? Look at that, I gotta watch my mouth. I know there's young kids watching this stuff wondering, man, that guy swears a lot. What we do is we take a med ball, see that, med ball? Okay, this is a single arm med ball fulcrum. Now the cool part about this is it actually works, but it works independent, and that's what's the important part is, so you take your band, loop it around. You can double it like this if you want, that's totally fine. Let's go like this. Manage my camera skills because they are mad. George Lucas calls me all the time, asking for advice. So we're gonna loop up into the wrist. So that's your position. You're gonna take the med ball. Doesn't matter how heavy it is. It doesn't have to be a 20 out of 10 or any garbage like that. This is your position. So load up, fulcrum over that med ball. Oh, this is miserable. And let the band do the work. So it's gonna open up that shoulder, and I'm gonna sink my butt so I open up that thoracic spine and the rib cage. I'm gonna hit a lot of the stuff, the junk, all the connective tissue in here, including that subscap, and get rid of a lot of that internal rotation that most people walk around in. Let the band do the work. So fulcrum over that med ball, sink the butt, hang out, 2 minutes. That's number 2. Oh, it's terrible. We gotta work on some external rotation. We get some more band work. We need a band, PVC pipe. This is like equipment 101 here. You can see what I'm doing. Playing soccer with a J-hook. So let's see if we got this. I'll come real forward on the bench so you can see what I'm doing. So all we need is a bench, box, don't really care what you use, just something to lean over. You can use a kitchen counter for all I care. Triple up a band. Get into the elbow. So I am loaded up in the elbow, right? Lean over the bench. So my elbows are banded up. You're gonna take this, the whole goal is to get these as wide as possible. So there's a trick to this. So elbows are banded up. Take this, twist it to the side, and then, oh, crank that out. Now you're gonna come back to the edge of the bench and drive your torso all the way down without throwing up your liver. Oh, that's miserable. So I'll give you a side view just so you can see what the hell hell I'm doing. So basically, remember what I said. Go wide, there's a band on the elbows. Trick to getting wide is spin the PVC pipe, then crank it into that external rotation, get as wide as you can, and then just drop yourself all the way down. Hold it for how long? 2 minutes. That's number 3. Trust me, this is the stuff that's gonna help your overhead position. We've got 4 and 5. There's only 5 things we're gonna do, that's it. Number 4 is gonna hit extension. So if you guys are doing muscle ups, whether it's bar or ring, it doesn't matter. This is something you're gonna need to do. I know I keep looking up at the bar, but you need this. So extension is bringing your shoulder back. So if you can't bring your shoulder back the way it's supposed to, you're gonna run into a lot of shoulder problems because you'll wind up dumping that shoulder forward. So all we do is loop up onto a pull-up bar. Band is going into the elbow here. I'm gonna grab this behind me. So I'm grabbing my wrist. That's a loose band, huh? So I can crank it this far. There we go. Makes it, I look like the ultimate warrior with a big giant phallic vein in there. So you're gonna take a knee. So the band is dragging up behind me. I'm gonna reach back right here with this hand, grab this, and I'm gonna let it pull my shoulder up. It's not pulling my elbow back, it's pulling the shoulder up into extension. The key to this is really come up tall, let the band do the work, drags me into extension. You're gonna hit the pec and the serratus anterior. You're just gonna unload all that stuff. How long do we hang out? 2 minutes. Last one's easy. We keep this. We're just gonna grab up supinated, not pronated. This one gets worse. Dave Spitz is watching this one. He knows, the godfather of weightlifting. You're gonna go into a supinated, so chin up grip. You're gonna go shoulder width apart. You gotta go wider, that's fine. Hang for 2 minutes. The goal is to accumulate 2 minutes. So you're just gonna grab. That's it. And just hang. So my feet are hanging here, and it's a dead hang, okay? So I want you to hang. No hollow, no nothing like that. 2 minutes, call it a day. That's it. You want to warm up your shoulders for all the cool stuff you're about to do? Do that stuff. Hey, listen, I'm Trev, hanging out at Delta, SmashweRx. I will check you guys out tomorrow.